In the previous segment, East and West Berlin were used to illustrate the difference in freedom and state-controlled economies. A question must be asked here. What difference existed between East and West that could possibly account for such a discrepancy? There can be no inherent difference in the people. Some families were actually split, resulting in some living on each side of the wall. Both sides spoke the same language, came from the same culture and heritage. Both occupied nearly identical geographical characteristics, yet the most striking contrasts in living standards soon emerged. How could this be possible? The great difference was liberty. The West was given the freedom to excel in free market capitalism, to make of their lives whatever their skills, talents, and perseverance would allow. Those in the East were regulated, restricted, and micromanaged, and as a result, extreme poverty became every citizen's lot. This difference is seen even greater on the Korean Peninsula. The communist-controlled North is literally starving to death. The South has risen from being nearly the poorest nation on the face of the earth in the early 1950s. They might possibly be the greatest economic miracle in history. Today, under a capitalist system, South Korea thrives with few natural resources. They rose to the 13th largest economy in the world despite being one of the smallest countries on earth. The divided Korean Peninsula provides perhaps the greatest example of the value of freedom and free markets. Liberty promotes wealth creation and abundance, whereas restriction and central control creates abject poverty. One side lives in prosperity and comfort, the other on the brink of extinction. How then is wealth created by individuals that are allowed to pursue their own advancement in an environment of economic freedom? Well, Adam Smith, a Scottish economic philosopher and a contemporary of the founders, he put it this way, quote, "It is not from the benevolence of the butcher, the baker, or the brewer that we expect our dinner. It is from their regard to their own self-interest." Unquote. Smith, of course, was describing the motive of profit. Tragically, this concept has been falsely demonized today. Progressives insist unequal distribution of wealth is immoral. However, it must be understood that in a free society, those with wealth have generally earned it. For someone to gain wealth, they must offer a product or service that others are willing to trade for. As Milton Friedman pointed out, the most important single central fact about the free market is that no exchange takes place unless both parties benefit. End quote. In other words, as long as there is freedom to choose, people will only buy what they feel will benefit them. This truth destroys the notion of obscene profits. Someone who has gained enormous wealth in a capitalist system has also benefited someone else a great deal. This is the genius of capitalism. To gain wealth in a free market system, one must offer a product or service that others are willing to pay for. If both parties do not feel that they will benefit, the exchange does not take place. In choosing which products will benefit himself, the consumer promotes the direction of goods and services being produced. By its very definition, free markets promote innovation, higher quality, increase in standard of living, and even peace. Thanks for joining us, and hopefully you'll join us again in our next video.